another question?
So we have a side. So I want to ask, what is the mass of 2 mole of H2SO4?
Oh, sweet. Nate, I'm going to ask you to help me out again with this.
All right.
2 moles.
Sorry to be a pain.
Okay.
Okay,
What am I
so
doing?
cool. So Nate, would you write just the chemical formula on your screen, H2SO4, and the 2 and 4 are subscript?
Right.
So
You
this
know, I
go
want to
ahead.
say something before you start.
Please.
I think now that I've been here for Homework Hotline, I think I could almost do that.
Nice, that's awesome to
Now
hear.
that I've been here for Homework Hotline.
That's awesome to hear.
But anyway.
So one thing you
Just
would
a little
need
brag.
is you would need
Just
to know
brag
the
to-
weight.
No, it was a brag on you because you're explaining it so well that I understand it now.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, I just to return the favor, my math has definitely improved at getting some of the,
Good.
the
That's our
basic,
goal. That's our goal.
reteaching here.
So guys, watch the Homework Hotline.
That's right. That's right. It's working for the people on it. So,
Mm-hmm.
so H2SO4 is sulfuric acid, and what we want to do, the first thing we need to do is figure out what is the mass of 1 mole of sulfuric acid. And just to tangent for a second, because I think it's an important tangent. Before you answer this question, you might want to know what a mole is. And the word mole in chemistry is a word that represents a number, much like we might say a dozen is a word that represents the number 12. The word mole represents the number 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd power, which is a gigantic number. It's effectively 6 sextillion, which is it's a number so big it's hard to even think about. But a mole refers to a quantity of some material where you have that giant number, 6 sextillion pieces of that substance, whatever it is. So for example, if we had a mole of oxygen, we would have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd pieces of oxygen molecules. Or if we had a mole of sugar, we would have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd sugar molecules. And sugar weighs a different amount than oxygen, so moles of different things have different weights, but a mole is always that same number, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. So, little tangent. If you use the periodic table has weights below each chemical symbol, and those weights are, sometimes we say that it's the atomic mass unit weight, but it's also really useful because it is the weight in grams of 1 mole of that element. So below the letter H on the periodic table, there is a 1.00, which tells us that 1 mole of H weighs 1.00 grams. So the way I would set this up, Nate, is I would basically say, okay, I've got 3 chemicals here. I've got H hydrogen, S sulfur, and O oxygen. So I'm going to do 3 little operations and add them together. So the first is going to be in parentheses, so starting parentheses. I'm going to put 2 times, and this is because I have 2 H's, and then 2 times the weight of H. And in this case, the weight of H is just 1. In all cases, the weight of H is 1. Fantastic. So let's close the parentheses, and let's add that to the next chemical. So the next chemical we have is sulfur, and because I've been doing a lot of chemistry lately, I remember that the weight of sulfur is 32.06 grams, and we don't need to put a multiplier because there's no subscript next to S, meaning there's only 1 sulfur atom in a single molecule of sulfuric acid. So we're going to add, and this time we have 4 oxygen, so let's put the 4 multiplier, and the weight of oxygen is 15.99 grams per mole. And Becca's going to help us out with a little calculation there, but this is how you would set these problems up, is you would essentially break it into, you'd have 3 sets of parentheses for each or a set of parentheses for each chemical. You multiply the weight of the single chemical by the number, and you get an answer. In this case, we would get 98.02 grams, and this is grams per mole, remember. So this is 1 mole of sulfuric acid, right? 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of sulfuric acid weighs 98.02 grams. The question asked us, how much does 2 moles weigh? So we're not quite done yet. We have to do just one more thing, which is we need to multiply our answer by 2. And we would get 196.04 grams in 2 moles of sulfuric acid. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to do.
Oh, see, I should have just
Really,
let you do
I
it.
was.
I could have fed you the weights, and I should have just let you do it.
Actually, what I was going to do.
I'm interestingly struggling a lot in class right now to get students to see those 2 steps. They're really good at calculating molar mass, and then separately, they're really good at multiplying molar mass by the number of moles they have. But sometimes if a question asks for both things, they miss that there's 2 steps there.
That's interesting.
It is.
That is really interesting.
Subscribe!
Come on, push the button.
You know
Yeah, you want to.
Do it.